Buenrrostro. I believe in the power of a ball. Any ball of any color, texture, or size. They bounce, they fall, and they roll, made with the purpose to be put into action and move at any moment. In 8th grade, I remember being in my general science class, and the first time I was ever exposed to any physics. Now don't get me wrong, gravity likes me a little bit too much, and momentum I can never seem to grab onto, but it was the first time I was ever learning about any of its theory. My teacher, Mr. Brown, drew a line on the board, a half of a hill and a circle sitting at the very top. He asked us if the ball would be able to move on its own, and we said no. He then asked us if the ball would ever be able to move. Most of us said no because it was a drawing on a chalkboard, but nonetheless, he continued to explain that the ball at rest would always have this thing called potential energy. As long as it was at rest, and it maintained its form, it would have any potential conserved energy to use. Any energy exerted on it would only propel its movement further, and as long as it was at rest, it would always have potential. Aristotle discusses this idea of innate potential within his philosophy of potentiality. Potentiality is defined as the inherent power a thing has to produce change. What if I told you potentiality could apply to people? Everyone has potential that can cause great change in the world. This I believe. What if we recognized individuals' unique gifts, affirmed their authentic selves, and realized that a community of differences could come together to unleash an unstoppable force of change for the common good? Sometimes, for one person, the smallest things can keep their ball rolling. That same year of middle school, where I learned about balls, I participated in the school science fair. In all honesty, it was because a classmate of mine convinced me it would look good to colleges. And being born as the result of the typical Latino American dream, college is the end-all be-all. That pushed my ball just enough, and I fearfully accepted the fact that I needed to come up with something. I did it with the overwhelming memories looming over me of all the teachers that vocalized year after year how little they expected of me. I was forever disadvantaged in their eyes, a result of racial and biological flaws, and I believed it. I remember the announcement that the fair had begun, and then everything was a blur. My ball had been pushed, and it was rolling, minute by minute down the hill. I was nervous, but I clasped my hands behind my back, and I just started talking. I remember passing out copies of our research, answering questions, and wishing I hadn't formatted that stupid table in Word instead of Excel. An immense amount of relief came over me when ceremonies wrapped up. And then while I cleaned up my station, I heard screaming and rapid Spanish quickly approaching, with my name sprinkled in between the teeth of a bright, wide smile. I still remember how tight my mother squeezed me as her voice echoed in the cafeteria. Lo vi en ti. Tú lo tienes. Su poder. I saw something in you. The spark. I saw the power. Her words changed me forever. Even thinking about it now, I can feel my whole body overflowing with energy and emotion. No one had ever recognized my unique potential before. I felt confident and secure, well-informed but not too cocky, personable yet powerful. I left that science fair a changed person. Everything I always hoped I could be but never knew had come true. When addressing an audience is now statistically the most fear-inducing thing in a person, second only to death, I felt empowered. Because of that moment, I stand here before you, at the Juniata College Bailey Oratorical, harnessing that potential one more time. I stand here before you to show you the strength of your influence in unleashing the potential of others. How do we nurture the potential growing self in others? We must bring a person to believe that they should exist as their authentic self. Abraham Maslow, the father of self-actualization, put it best. We crave and we fear becoming truly ourselves, and for good reason. There's a world full of people living their truth, but for some reason, we still tend to value the easily consumable identity the most. Newsflash. If someone is easily consumable, they are sacrificing their unique perspectives and stifling their full potential. It's easier to sustain ourselves in mediocrity than to challenge ourselves to be authentic and expect the same from others. In our society, we both actively and passively forget about those that don't exist in accordance to this conformist lie. We push them aside, whether from fear or the feeling of threat. But I want to encourage you to look beyond that fear. Just take a look at notable individuals like Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, migrant worker rights activist Cesar Chavez, and queer rights activist Silvia Rivera. Even when the world stripped them of the space to exist and deny their identity as human, they moved forward. And we have the power to deliver to others a single word, a phrase, or a feeling that speaks to them to be true to themselves and push forward. When we recognize the spark in others, encourage their potential authentic self no matter how different or unique, we become a force for change that is unquestionable. How can our belief and support in each other create a stronger community, celebrating our differences? Our belief in each other sets the ball rolling. It can strengthen our community, and it can bring about inclusive change. There is an immense amount of progress we are willingly letting slip through our fingers. People believe in the power of likeness, but do not see the strength and movement involved with difference. Difference moves us, and lucky for us, there's growth occurring every day by the hands of those encouraged to fulfill their potential. If the mission statement of our institution really is meaningful to us, we should be empowering all of our students and teaching them that they really can begin to change humanity, starting here with our home. Together, by acknowledging what we see in each other, we engage with each other. We push ball after ball, building upon that momentum. We shape what we want to see around us, whether it be in the form of opinion or identity or something more concrete, and we will always be reaching in one way or another to unleash the limitless potential that each of us has. We as a community can choose to encourage the action in others and create change through actualized potential. As Winston Churchill put it, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. We don't realize how we have come to use our potential again and again throughout our lives. Those moments where our ball is at rest, manifesting all that silent energy until we receive that vital push. Many of us can remember that teacher or mentor that gave us hope that we really could accomplish all those far-fetched dreams or that little thing way out of our comfort zone. And now, it's our turn to do the pushing, to get someone's ball rolling. We are at our most unified, at our strongest, using the momentum of the support around us to cultivate our differences and accomplish any small or great thing we were always meant to do. With our potential, we unleash the potential of others. So I want to encourage you to reveal to someone their potential. Show them their hidden virtues and get their ball rolling. Then we can bask in the energy of our diverse influence and be the change we want to incite in our world and our minds.